Okay, let's start. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Samaprabha Nirvigham Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurave Sarvalokanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Nidhaye Sarvavidyanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavatyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinabhaditamastu Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Can chant with me. Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna Adhikarinam.
Sadhana Chatushtaya Adhikarinam.
Oh, sorry, we'll chant with the prayer verse. Vasudevendra Yogindram.
Vasudevendra Yogindram.
Natva Jnanapradam Gurum.
Natva Jnanapradam Gurum.
Mukshunam Hitarthaya.
Mumutsunam Hitadhaya.
Tattvabodho Bhidiyate.
Tattvabodho Bhidiyate.
Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna Adhikarinam.
Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannadhikarinam.
Moksha Sadhana Bhutam.
Moksha Sadhana Bhutam.
Tattva Viveka Prakaram.
Tattva Viveka Prakaram. Vashyamaha.
Sadhana Chatushtayam Kim.
Sadhana Chatushtayam Kim.
Nitya Vastu Vivekaha.
Nitya Vastu Vivekaha.
Iha Mutrartha Palabhoga Viragaha.
Iha Mutrartha Palabhoga Viragaha.
Adi Shatka Sampattihi.
Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi.
Mumukshutvam Cheti.
Umutshitvam Cheti.
Okay. Sadhana Chatushtayam Kim? That is the question. As I told before, this text in the form of question and answer. When answering, the author will introduce some terms, and again that will be presented in the form of questions. That is how the whole text is presented. That all the topics of Vedanta are covered. Sadhana Chatushtayam Kim? What are these fourfold qualifications? The fourfold means sadhanani, which are required to become an adhikari. That is listed out. Viveka, Vairagya, iti. When there are that fourfold means, qualifications, that sadhanani in me, then I become an adhikari. When I become an adhikari, jnanam takes place. Jnanam takes place in me. Therefore, you can say that these fourfold qualifications, sadhana chatushtayam, they are the means for the jnanam to take place. By jnanam I attain moksha. Therefore, sadhana chatushtayam is highly important. Okay. Now, if you ask, who is an adhikari for Vedanta jnanam, then I will ask you another question. Do you want to have knowledge about you? If you say yes, then you are qualified. You are an adhikari. If you ask, how do I know that I am qualified? The teaching is, you are the whole. You are complete. You are complete. You are purnaha. That is the teaching. If you understand the teaching, then you are qualified. You are adhikari. If you don't understand, then you have to qualify yourself to become an adhikari. Therefore, it is as simple as that. Therefore, if sadhana chatushtayam are there in you, then you are an adhikari. In the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna lists out a few qualifications. And these qualifications, these spiritual qualities itself is called Jnanam by Krishna. Because these qualifications, it makes a person a fit adhikari for gaining Jnanam. Bhagavad-pada in his commentary says, in Bhagavad Gita Bhashya, Tat Jnana Sadhana Ganam Amanitwadi Lakshanam Yasmin Sati Tat Nyeya Vijnane Yogyaha Adhikritaha Bhavati. Tat Jnana Sadhana Ganam. That is, the Ganam is a group. So that collection of sadhana, that is the qualifications, that is the Jnana Sadhana Ganam. What is that? Amanitwadi Lakshanam. Starting from Amanitvam, etc., which is present in whom that person is fit for gaining Jnanam. Nyeya Vijnane Yogyaha Adhikritaha Bhavati. Bhagavad-pada says, since Amanitwadi Lakshanam, Amanitwadi Ganam, Jnana Sadhanatvad, since Amanitwadi Ganam, the group of the qualities, spiritual qualities which starts from Amanitvam, etc., which is the Jnana Sadhanam, therefore, when Arjuna asked Krishna, what is Jnanam, then Krishna, he lists out all the spiritual qualities which are important for the Jnanam to take place. Amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshanti rajyavam acharyopasanam shaucham stairyamaatma vinigrahah indriyarteshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha doshanudarshanam asaktiranabhishvangah Putradara grihadishu nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopapatishu mayi chananya yogena bhaktiravyabicharini divikta desha sevipam aratirjana samsadi adhyatmajnana nityatvam tattvajnanartha darshanam etad jnanamiti proktam. You see the word? Etat jnanamiti proktam ajnanam edatonyatha. Etat jnanam, all the qualities starting from amanitvam adambhitvam, etat jnanamiti proktam, because it is jnana sadhana ganam, therefore these qualities are itself jnana, and that is what we are discussing now. Sadhana chatushtayam. So, when Arjuna asks what is jnanam, when Krishna gives us the list of these this thing, Manitvadi Ganam, that is the Jnana Sadhanam, he says. It is like saying that this is the Kashi road. This is the Kashi road. The road is not Kashi. The road is not Kashi. The road leads you to Kashi. The destination is Kashi. It is understood. If you want to go to Kashi, you follow the road. You will find yourself in Kashi. Therefore, the road is the means. So follow the means. You follow the means, you will attain the destination. Similarly, when you want Jnanam, follow or develop these values. These values are the sadhanam for gaining Jnanam. And knowledge is only means for moksha. There should not be any doubt about it. Therefore, these qualifications are most important, and that is what is author here listing out. The first qualification is Nitya, Anitya, Vastu, Vivekaha. Nitya, Anitya Vastu, Vivekaha. Here we find some words like Nityam, Anityam. Let us investigate these words. These words seems to be simpler. We use in our common language also. We have to, but we will analyze these words also. We will not leave out any word. What is Nityam? What is Anityam? And what is Vastu also? Nitya, Anitya, Vastu, Vivekaha. Nityam is that which is always there. Nityam. It means that which is not subject to time. When you say time means the three kala comes. So, yat trikale tishtati tat nityam. That which remains in all the three periods of time. That is, that which was there in the past, which is now in the present, and that will be in the future, that is nityam. In short, that which doesn't come under the order of time, influence of time, that which is not subject to time is Nityam. In the second chapter of the Gita, in the verse number 12, Krishna says, Natve vagam jatu nasam, natvam neme janadipaha, achaiva nabhavishyamaha, sarve vayamatah param. He says, that it is not that we were not in the past. It is not that we will not be in the future too. You see, double negatives are used. So what does it mean? He says that we were in the past and we will be in the future. And what about the present? Of course we are in the present, because Krishna talks and Arjuna listens. So here also Krishna, he points out the Nityatvam of Atma. As Atma we are always there. As Atma we don't have distraction. So the word Nityam is implied here. It's used. If Nityam is there, which is always there, then what will be Anityam? You take the word Anityam. The letter A is added before the word. Generally, the letter A is added before the word to bring the opposite meaning, like Nityam, Anityam, Ksharam, Aksharam, Mangalam, Amangalam, Dharmam, Adharmam, Paurusheyam, Apaurusheyam, Vivekam, Avivekam, Manitvam, Amanitvam. Just now we chanted that. Manitvam, Amanitvam, Dambitvam, Adambitvam, Himsa, Hrimsa. So all the words, you see, you just add the letter A to the word, it gives the opposite meaning. So, Nityam means that which is free from the limitations of time. It is not finite. Therefore, absolute, infinite. Anityam is that which is subject to time. It is subject to the limitations of time. Therefore, it is temporary. It comes in time and disappears in time. It has time and place of origin. It has time and place of disappearance too. Therefore, it is temporary. It is finite. The best example, we know that all sukham that we experience from the objects around, from the people, and from the circumstances. They are all anityam. In fact, we are living in the midst of things which are all anityam, and we hold on to this anityam thinking that to be nityam. That is samsara. In the Mahabharata, in the Stri Parva, there is a story which was told by Vidura to Dhritarashtra. It's a beautifully story. The samsara is graphically presented in that story. The story goes like this. There was a Brahmana. That Brahmana, once he got trapped in a large forest which was infested with terrible creatures. He heard the roaring of tiger and elephants and other creatures. He got frightened. He began to run here and there for help. He could not succeed. He ran fast. He wanted somebody to come and help him, but he was in the mid forest. He could not find anybody. He ran as much possible as he can, and then he saw that terrible forest was covered with a net. The net means he can't get out from the forest, and a frightful woman standing there, stretching her arms. And there were huge snakes, 500 snakes. It was all tall. The description is given like this. It is touching the heavens. So when he was running like this to find a shelter, he fell into a deep pit. And the mouth of the pit, it was covered with creepers. So when he fell into the pit, he became entangled in that clusters of creepers. Now he was hanging like a jackfruit in a jack tree. His feet were upwards and head downwards. While he was in that posture, he saw a huge snake at the bottom of the pit, ready to swallow him. At the top of the pit, he saw a gigantic elephant approaching. The elephant was dark in complexion and it had 6 faces and 12 legs. That animal, it gradually approached the pit. Meanwhile, a number of the black and white rats, it were eating away the roots of the creeper. So the creeper, the Brahmana who is hanging, now slowly losing the grip. The creeper is going down because the rats were eating the roots of the creeper. And at the mouth of the pit, there was a huge honeycomb. And when the Brahmana fell into the pit, it disturbed the honeycomb. And when the honeycomb was disturbed, a jet of honey, it sprinkled below. This person who was hanging in the pit in such a terrible condition, he wanted to taste the honey. So he stuck out his tongue to have a taste of the honey. You see the condition in which the Brahmana is. There was a tiger waiting at the mouth of the pit, a fierce woman standing on the outskirts of the forest, a huge snake at the bottom of the pit ready to devour him, and huge elephant at the top of the pit, and the rats, it's continually coming and going, eating the roots of the creepers. And lastly, because he disturbed the honeycomb, the bees were flying towards him and stinging him severely. In that flight too, he wanted to enjoy the honey. This is the predicament, really speaking, we are in the world. In this story, if you see, the elephant has got 6 faces and 12 feet. The 12 feet stands for the 12 months, and 6 faces are the 6 Ritu. And the black and the white rats which comes and goes, they are the day and night, which eats up the life of the lifespan. And the huge snake which is ready to devour him is the Lord Yama, death. So this story shows how we are all surrounded by anitya vastu, and not only it is anitya, and we hold on to that so much, taking that to be nitya, without knowing that its temporal nature. So that is the anitya. So nityam and anityam. Nityam is that which is not subject to time, anityam which is subject to time. Now the another word is the vastu. Vastu means objects. Generally vastu means objects or things or anything which can be objectified. That is called vastu. Even the feelings, emotions and thoughts, they are also vastu only. Therefore we have nitya vastu and anitya vastu. Nitya vastu and anitya vastu. Viveka is distinguishing and understanding what is nityam and what is anityam. What is nityam and what is anityam through vichara. That is called viveka. The inquiry is viveka, and also the understanding which comes out of inquiry, it is also viveka. Both the means and the end are viveka. As I told before, that viveka means distinguishing two things that have been confused with each other. I'll give another example. Suppose you see a red hot iron ball. The ball is round in shape and the ball is glowing. How can fire have shape? Fire cannot have shape. So there is a confusion between the fire and the iron ball. Fire has no form. It has no weight. It has no hardness. Whereas iron has no heat, no glow. So now we have to inquire and sort out what belongs to what. The heat and glow belongs to fire, and the shape, density, hardness, all these things belongs to the iron. So this clear knowledge of fire and iron with reference to red dot iron ball, it's called viveka. Even in rice we have white stones. Sometimes we find white stones in the rice. How do you distinguish that? By you press it so that you'll feel the hardness of the stone. That is the viveka. So the sorting out is the between nitya and anitya vastu. It is the viveka. So nitya is that which is permanent, anitya is that which is not permanent, which is temporary. There is a confusion between nitya vastu and anitya vastu. How nitya vastu is taken to be anitya vastu and anitya vastu is taken as nitya vastu. That is therefore the confusion. Atma is taken to be anatma and anatma is taken to be atma. By vichara, by viveka vichara, we get a clear, distinct knowledge of what is nitya vastu, what is anitya vastu. That is called vivekaha. Both the nitya vastu, that is the permanent things, and the anitya vastu, impermanent things, they are mixed up. They are mixed up so deeply that it is very difficult to distinguish one from the other. Therefore, we need viveka. We need viveka or vivechanam. You can use the word vivechanam also. Vivechanam or viveka both are same, which means discrimination, distinguishing, separation. So, this viveka, it needs a subtle perception. It needs a subtle perception. Therefore, we require appropriate faculty. How to develop this faculty? With the regular study of scriptures. Regular study of scriptures and leading a life as recommended by the scripture, satsanga, meditation. So all this will help in developing the faculty for this subtle perception. So once we have clear viveka, then once we have clear viveka, I have understood what is nitya vastu and what is anitya vastu. Now I can go for nitya vastu to get moksha. We know there is no moksha in what comes and goes. Therefore, now we are not interested in that which comes and goes. What is that? Anitya vastu. We are interested in nitya vastu. We are all after nitya vastu only. That is called viveka, a discriminative inquiry. You know what vichara is? Vichara is a simple analysis. Analyzing a thing as it is. That is vichara. Viveka is discriminative inquiry. This viveka, we all have this viveka, this discriminative knowledge, this discriminative understanding with reference to what we want. For example, if we want money, but what we are doing is we are seeking security through money. We are seeing security through money. We attach a greater value to money because of the fear of insecurity. Definitely the problem is not money, but the problem is insecurity. So seeing this fact as it is, that is the discrimination, that is the viveka. Still, if you ask how to gain viveka, the only way is you analyze your own life experiences, like this job, marriage, children, family, social status, power, pleasure. You analyze all your life experiences. They're all important until we gain it. And after some time, you will find it becomes unimportant and something else becomes important. So, if you analyze further, you will find that these important things are not in any way different from those what were important previously. So, this analysis of personal experience and the experience of others, it leads you to a clear understanding that there is no real answer to this problem in terms of gaining new experiences. Once, if you understand that, then what is the answer? You are the answer. Your experience is not the answer. You are the answer. You are the problem, and therefore you are the solution. The whole problem is self-non-acceptance. Therefore, I must come to see myself as acceptable. To resolve the problem, I have to know I am acceptable. If I am acceptable to me, then I cannot become limited. That limitlessness alone is acceptable. Therefore, when I am limitless, there is no question of becoming at all. I can never become limited because I am limitless. I must understand that I cannot become acceptable by any process of becoming. Without any change, I have to be acceptable. Then, I must necessarily shift my vision about myself from that of seeing myself as unacceptable. So, Vedanta tells that I am acceptable because I am Purnaha, I am the whole, the complete. Therefore, I must know at least that any pursuit of becoming other than knowledge will not remove my sense of limitation. This particular disposition, which is achieved through analysis of one's own life experiences, is called vivekaha. In other words, you can say the capacity to understand the truth or reality, that is called vivekaha. That viveka is very, very important. We should always analyze our life experiences and see what is nityam, what is anitya. That is why we have a separate prakarana grantha, Viveka Chudamani. The name of the grantha itself is Viveka Chudamani. If viveka is there, you will find the other things will follow. Okay, now viveka is, we have talked about viveka. We will talk about viveka more. It is going to come later. Now the next qualification is viragaha. Viragaha is the next qualification. Iha amutra arthaphala bhoga viragaha. This is another important qualification. The word raga means longing. It means longing or passion. The word raga means longing. Ranjanatmakaha ragaha. It means that we have raga for something. We have raga for something. That is, we are giving more value than what it deserves. Seeing what is not there, that is raga. Viraga means absence of raga, which means that I don't see what is not there. In other words, seeing it as what it is. I don't add any extra value by imagination or fascination. For example, this hunger, the basic, the hunger, thirst, they are real. We don't imagine to have hunger or thirst. They are real. Similarly, money is also real. Why? Because money, it has a buying power. But if you say money will solve the problem of insecurity, no. It is called superimposition, adhyasa. And this superimposition can be done in two ways. Either you mistake an object for what it is not, or you add more value to it which is not there at all. In two ways it's possible. When you add more value to that which is not there, it is called lack of objectivity. There is no objectivity in that. The thinking, the very thinking that this is going to solve my problem, that should not be there. That is called viragaha. That is called viragha. Nothing, in fact, nothing is going to solve the problem of this self-disapproval. That is what we are talking about. Nothing is going to solve this problem. You have to solve it. When you don't look upon a person or an object or a situation as something which will solve the problem of this self-disapproval, then which will solve this problem of self-disapproval, then you can say you have dispassion, you have objectivity. Therefore, what we need is objectivity. The best translation for the word vairagyam is objectivity. Viragasya bhavaga vairagyam. That is, viraga is absence of longing, and vairagyam, it is the state of viragaha. Generally, the word viraga is translated as dispassion. That is also a good translation, but Swamiji uses the word objectivity. He also uses the word dispassion. Dispassion is also a right word, but we have to understand understand it properly. So viragaha, that dispassion, it arises on account of what? On account of viveka. When viveka is there, dispassion, it arises. That viraga, that dispassion, it draws us away from the ephemeral, the impermanent, the anitya vastu, and draws toward that which is permanent, nitya. When your mind starts discriminating between the nityam and the anityam, now the question, what do I seek? Now you know what is nityam and what is anityam. Now the question is, what do I seek? Arises. You realize that what I am seeking is the nitya vastu. When you know what is nityam and what is anityam, definitely you will not go for anitya vastu. Though it may be giving you a sort of pleasure for the time being, you will opt for nitya vastu. That understanding, that is born out of understanding. That understanding is called vairagyam or dispassion. This vairagyam arises when I become indifferent to all that is not useful to me, or contradicts my pursuit of nitya vastu. That vairagyam arises in me when I become indifferent to all that which doesn't serve any purpose to me, or when it contradicts my pursuit of nitya vastu. There is vairagyam. There is vairagyam, dispassion for the anitya vastu, because I am seeking the nitya vastu. That very seeking of the nitya vastu is the denial of the anitya vastu. That is vairagyam. When you recognize that you hurt yourself by running after the anitya vastu, then what happens? A mature understanding, a healthy understanding about the anitya vastu arises in you, and you gain certain dispassion, objectivity towards that. That is the vairagyam. Therefore, now this vairagyam or dispassion, it means a passion for the nitya vastu and dispassion for the anitya vastu. See, vairagyam, when it's translated as dispassion for the anitya vastu and passion for the anitya vastu. It means in our mind we should have passion for the nitya vastu. Then we have, when there is a passion for the anitya vastu, it means I don't have passion for the nitya vastu, then I am a samsari. So when I become free from the passion for the anitya vastu, then what happens? Then I discover a passion for the nitya vastu. That is the Vairagyam or Viragaha. Viragaha, dispassion. Vairagyam. Viragasya bhavam. The status of having dispassion is called Vairagyam. Now we will see the meaning, each and every word meaning. Iha, Amutra, Artha, Pala, Bhoga, Viragha is there. Now, Iha. What is Iha? Iha is an Abhyaya. Iha is an Abhyaya, which means here. Here means where? In this world. Here means in Asmin Loke, in this world. That is the here. Amutra. Amutra, it's very clear. Once Iha is there, Amutra should be there. Again, where? In the other world. In the other world. That is, we are referring to the world of pleasures that one goes after Marana, Maranantaram. Maranantaram, the place one goes. Definitely that place cannot be a hell, Naraka, because nobody wants to go to Naraka. So therefore, Iha, Amutra, Pala, Bhoga, Viraga we are talking about. Therefore, we are the world of pleasure, that is the Swarga, Swarga Loka. Amutra is Swarga Loka. So, Iga, Amutra, Astin Loke, Swarga Loke. Artha, Iga, Amutra, Artha. Artha has got many meanings as we saw before, the beginning. So, Artha here it means sense objects. Sense objects. Artha is sense object. Therefore, it means what? Sense objects gives sense pleasures. Therefore, sense pleasures, Sukham. Sukham born of sense objects. Sukham, which is born of sense objects, is the Artha. That is the sense pleasures belonging to this world and the other world. That is called, that is Iga Amutra Artha. Iga Amutra Artha. Iga Amutra Artha. The sense pleasures which is born out of sense objects either in this world or in that world, which is Swarga Loka. Then the next word is Pala. What is Pala? Palam is generally result or the fruit. The fruit of our action. Karma Pala. Pala is Karma Pala. The result of our own actions, that is called, that is the Karma Pala. It is denoted by the word Pala in this sentence, Pala. Iga Amutrartha. Iga Amutrartha. The pleasure which is born out of sense objects in this loka or in the other loka, it is earned by what? It is earned by karma. It is earned by karma. Therefore, Iga Amutrartha is in the form of a karma pala. It is in the form of a karma pala. It is so obvious because they are busy all the time working for what? Working for these pleasures. So, Iga Amutrartha pala. Bhoga is there. The word bhoga. Bhoga is, enjoyment. So, indulgence in sense pleasures of this world and also in the other world is Igamutrartha Pala Bhoga. Igamutrartha Pala Bhoga is the result of our own karma. Own karma. So here we should not think that all the enjoyment, the sense of object, enjoyment of the sense object, it is should be given up. No, that is not the point here. Objective enjoyment is not a problem. We can enjoy a nice food, nice music, beautiful place. That is not a problem. There should not be any excessiveness or obsession. There should not be any obsession in indulgence. That is the problem. That is a problem of samsara. Swamiji used to tell this joke. This is, he says, when there is obsession in love, the person would say, "Honey, I love you." This is Swamiji's joke. Okay, "Honey, I love you," will say. "Honey, I love you, sit down." "Honey, didn't I say I love you? Stand up." So, because the person loves the other person, the person has to do as you say, because you love the person. If the person doesn't do what you say, then your love for that person is gone. This is called obsession. This obsessive relationship is a problem. There is no freedom in it. Therefore, it won't stay for long. So that is that indulgence, that obsession, that is the problem. That is the igamutrartha palabhoga viraga. That free from that sort of obsessive enjoyment, indulgence in sense pleasures is called viraga. In other words, certain objectivity towards that. That is the viraga. So dispassion towards indulgence in all these pleasures is called vairagyam. So there are two important qualifications we have seen so far. One is the viveka and other one is the viragaha. The second qualification, viraga, it depends on the first. Viveka should be there, then the second will automatically it will come. Once you distinguish what is nitya and anitya, then naturally you will go for nitya vastu. It means you have certain objectivity towards the anitya vastu. It's not that you will totally disregard the anitya vastu because you have to live in the world. The world is nothing but full of anitya vastu. But you will have objectivity towards that. Therefore, so viveka and viraga, they go together. When viveka is there, naturally the second will come. Viraga will come. Okay, this is both viveka and viraga. Now the next qualification is Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi. Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi. If you split this, Shama Adi Shatka Sampattihi. What is Adi? Adi, here it means etc. Literally, Adi means beginning with. Adi means beginning with. Here it means etc. Or here we can say that beginning with Shama. That also I can say. Beginning with Shama, etc. Beginning with Shama. When you say beginning with Shama, Shatka Sampattihi, Shatka means 6. And we said Shama Adi. Shama is one quality is pointed out. And Adi, beginning with Shama, Shatka, when you say, it means 5 more are there. It means another 5 more are there. Because Shatka means 6. And I already pointed out, in the sentence already says, Shama, already it is, the sentence mentions that. Therefore, how many are left out? 5. Therefore, another 5 qualities are left out, which is not told explicitly in the sentence, which the author is going to say later. So, Shama Adi Shatka Sampatti, the sixfold Sampatti, sixfold Sampatti, Sampatti means wealth. The sixfold Sampatti, the virtues or the accomplishment, the sixfold inner wealth, which begins with Shama. Which begins with Shama. Shama means mastery over mind. Mastery over mind is the Shama. The author will explain Shama as Mano Nigraha, later we will see. So Shama can be simply translated as mastery over mind. That is the best translation. Generally you will find the word control, but that is not the good word. We don't need to control anything. We need to have mastery over mind, not control. Managing the mind, that is called Shama. Mind is just an instrument. Mind should be in my hand as an instrument. And mind should not hold me as a captive. Right? So, Shama is managing the mind. Shama means mind discipline, mental discipline, thought discipline, Mano Nigraha, that is the mind. Okay? Then, what are the other virtues, other Sampatti? They are Rama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam. So, Shama, next one is Dhamma. Dhamma is mastery over sense organs, senses, managing the sense organs. That is the Dhamma. We are going to see each and every word in detail. Later it will come. Now it's just a small introduction. Dhamma is mastery over senses. Uparama is, it's a very nice word, Uparama. Uparama is withdrawal from the excessive activities. When you withdraw from excessive activities, what you do? Then you do your own duties properly. That is, doing one's own duties. That is Uparama. doing one's own duty, dharma, that is the Uparama. Swadharma Anushtanam, that is the Uparama. Titiksha, the next word is Titiksha. Titiksha is endurance. Endurance, tolerance. You tolerate the discomfort. The discomfort could be a physically one. The physical means it could be in the form of an object or the persons or the situations. You have tolerance. You endure. That is Titiksha. The next Sampati is Shraddha. Shraddha is the faith. Faith in the words of the Shastram and the Guru. Guru Shastra Vakyeshu Vishwasaha Shraddha. Faith in the words of the Shastra and the Guru. Because what the Guru says, it is in line with the Shastram. So what the words of the Guru and the Shastram, it will not contradict. And have faith in that, that is the Shraddha. The next one is Samadhanam. Samadhanam is a relative togetherness of mind. That is, one is able to do what one wants to do. That is the Samadhanam. It's certain absorption. That is the Samadhanam. So, Shama, Dhamma, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam. How many? 6. Shatkam. So, this group of 6, Shatkam, Chamari Shatkam. Chamari Shatka means a group of 6 in which the Shama is at the beginning. And that is a Sampati wealth. So, it is a group of 6 wealth. It is not the wealth, external wealth. It is the inner wealth. It is the disposition of the mind. That is the inner wealth. So our Shastram, it considers this inner wealth as more important than the external wealth. This is the real Sampatti. So this 6-fold self-discipline, which helps in self-organizing and integrating oneself, they are called Shatka Sampatti. So in the Sadhana Chatushtayam, in one qualification is Samadhi Shatka Sampatti. You see all the 6 in as one qualification put together. Okay. Now the 4th qualification in the Sadhana Chatushtayam is 4th, and it is the last one. Mumukshutvam. Mumukshutvam means a desire to get freedom. Muktamicha Mumuksha. Tasya bhavaga Mumukshutvam. That is, the desire to be free, that is longing is the Muksha. Tasya bhavaga Mumukshutvam. The status of having the longing, the liberation, it's called Mukshutvam. Mumukshutvam cha iti. Cha means and. Generally in Sanskrit, with this and is written after the last word. That is why all the qualifications are mentioned. Samadhi Shatka Sampatti, then Mumukshutvam cha iti. Cha means and. So these are the iti means thus. So these are the qualifications. One should have this minimum this qualification, so that is one should have minimum Mumukshutvam. The qualification, the important qualification, at least the minimum qualification what one should have is Mumukshutvam, so that once he comes to Vedanta, once he comes to listen to the words of the Shastram, he acquires other qualifications. So the one who is committed to moksha is Mumukshuhu. It is Mumukshuhu. The reason for mentioning Mumukshutvam is studying Vedanta, it should not be out of curiosity. There is a value in this pursuit to which the person is committed. And this knowledge, therefore, this knowledge is only for the person who has the value for the moksha. So, only when you have value for this, then Vedanta becomes highly meaningful. Otherwise, it is not. So, one who has all these 4 qualifications is the Adhikari, is the qualified person for Atmajnanam. So, for him, the author says this text is for those persons who have that Mumukshutvam iti. So, these are the 4-fold qualifications. Okay. Now, to use the word Viveka and Viraga. So, all these words will be described in detail. Now, the author, now the students. Now, the student, as the author himself presents a question that naturally the a student will ask, because the author has used Nitya Vastu Vivekaha. The student doesn't know what is that, so you will ask. You can all chant with me now. Nitya Vastu Vivekaha. Hello.
Vivekaha.
Nityanastu Vivekakha.
Nitya Vastu Vivekaha Kaha.
Okay. Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma.
Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma.
Tad Vyatiriktam.
Tad Vyatiriktam.
Sarvam. Anityam. Ayameva. Nitya Vastu Vivekaha.
Nitya Vastu Vivekaha.
Okay, here the question is Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaha. Though we discuss Viveka, we are going to discuss in detail further. We are going to spend maybe one full class for discussing this Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaha. Now I just give you the meaning of this this text now. Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaha. What is this discriminative understanding between the Nitya Vastu and the Anitya Vastu? That is the question asked by the student. The teacher says, Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma. Nitya Vastu. That which is Nitya, it is only one. That is Brahman. You have used the word Brahman. We are going to see what it is. Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahman. That is, Nitya Vastu is only Brahman. Tad Vyatiriktam. Other than that, all else other than Brahman is Anityam. Tad Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam. Tad Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam. Ayam Eva, this alone, Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaha. This understanding alone is the Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaha. So, we are going to discuss this answer more in detail in the next class. Harihi Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya
Purnameva Vasishyate.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Harihi Om.
Okay. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Hello?
No doubts.
No doubts. That's very clear.
Okay. Samadhanam is absorption. That is absorption of the mind to a particular topic. Suppose you are listening to Shastram now. You are exposed to Shravanam, right? Your mind is absorbed in listening. That is called Samadhanam. Samadhanam, it's not the Samadhanam what we say in Tamil. Samadhanam, no, not that Samadhanam. Samadhanam is, see, even though there may be disturbances around, but your focus is only to the words of the Shastram. Your focus is there only. That is called Samadhanam. We say no, when cricket matches is going on, people don't know what's happening around. They are glued to the TV. That is called Samadhanam. That is, right?
Okay.
Yes. Your mind is together, it is not scattered all around. That is the Samadhanam. That is one of the important quality required. At least for Shravanam we need, right? It's very important. And also, I mean, when you listen, at the same time, a lot of understanding happens in your mind, and you see the connection between the previous one, the next one. So automatically everything goes, and at the same time, your attention is also in the class. So this is samadhana. This is an example. Samadhanam is that absorption. That is called samadhana. The relative togetherness of the mind. That is samadhana. They are going to explore what it is in detail. What is shama, dhamma, everything. You come. You will find the question. The disciple will ask question and the teacher will answer. Samadhanam, kim will be there.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? I like that Mahabharatam story.
You didn't give the rest of the information about who is all. We only heard a couple of them.
What is that?
Who is the lady? Who is? There are a few things you didn't go and explain.
See, I don't know. Maybe the lady is. I don't know what is the lady is. I don't want to guess. Anyway, that the rats, the white rats and the black rats, which comes and goes, and the elephant with the 12 faces and the 6 faces and the 12 legs.
Yeah.
It's all the presentation of the samsara. You know. And என்னம்மா
இது எல்லா உபன்யாசரும் வேற வேற மாதிரி இதெல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுவா. பட் திருதராஷ்டிரனுக்கு விதுரன் சொன்னதுங்கிறத சொல்ல மாட்டா. பட் ஜெனரலா இந்த மாதிரி ஓடினா விழுந்தான் கைட்ட பிடிச்சிட்டு தொங்கினா அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் சொல்லுவா. அது வேற கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சம். ஆனா எலி எல்லாம் அவ சொல்லல. பிளாக் அண்ட் ஒயிட் ராட், டே அண்ட் நைட், சர்ப்பம்.
In the Mahabharatala, it is how it is depicted, and I read the story long back now, or 10 years முன்னாடி I read the story. When I read the story it has so strongly imprinted in my mind. So I could not recollect all the details, but whatever I remembered, you know.
இதுல புரஞ்சரோபாக்கியானமா ஏதோ
Sorry?
பாகவதத்துல ஸ்ரீமத் பாகவதத்துல புரஞ்சரோபாக்கியானமா ஏதோ ஒண்ணு வரும். புரஞ்சரன்
உபாக்கியா. Okay. Yeah. What உபாக்கியானம்?
புரஞ்சரோபாக்கியானம் மாதிரி.
உபாக்கியானம்னா story that if I know the name I can find out. Anyway. உபாக்கியானம். Okay.
ஆத்மாவும் ஜீவாத்மாவும் பரமாத்மாவும் சேர்ந்து போறது. இத்தனை 5 இது வச்சு வாசல் வச்சு ஒரு கோட்டை இருக்கு. அதான் அந்த ஐம்புலன்கள் அதுல ஏதோ ஒரு சம் ஸ்டோரி.
ஓகே.
பாகவதத்துல இருக்கு. ஸ்ரீமத் பாகவதத்துல கேட்ட மாதிரி ஒரு ஞாபகம்.
ஓகே. Okay. Then thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Right.